Hello and welcome to the Veto Campaign podcast. My name is Rohin Vadera. I'm the founder of the Veto Campaign, and this is my website here. This is where we explain what the veto is all about. Essentially, it's an option on ballots called the veto option. And if you tick it, and the majority of people also tick it, then the election in that constituency is rerun. And the idea is to make voters sovereign and to ensure that no politician gets elected without majority support. The idea is that if you require majority support to get elected, that means you can only maximize the common good. Because if you only need a minority, then you're only trying to serve a minority. So you can maximize the common good. And this is what the idea is. So in this episode, we want to talk about how to get money out of politics. Before we start, this is the petition I've started on change.org. Please sign it. This is what this episode is all about. Please go sign the petition. The idea is to build up signatures on this petition and use it as social proof that people are interested in this idea, and I can pitch it to bigger audiences and get more airtime and just create some kind of snowball effect. And so please sign it. Much appreciated. The QR code somewhere on the screen. Use that and sign the petition. Thank you so much. So let's get into it. Okay, this guy needs no introduction, I think. Hopefully, it's a newly minted trillionaire, Mr. Musk. So, how do you stop people like him buying and bribing politicians, influencing them, getting access to them? Well, answer I think is very straightforward. You only elect people who require majority support from voters to get elected. So that means once a politician requires a majority of voters, then money no longer is important because what's the point of getting bribed to do something that the majority don't want? So they're kind of stuck. So they have to do what the majority want. Obviously, then you use the money to try to convince the majority to do something that's not in their interest. But however, as long as we are still in charge and we can see eventually, oh, it's not working for us, we ditch that politician and move on to something better. And that's the basic idea. It's not like the majority will always be right. It's not going to be like that. We're going to make mistakes sometimes. But we are in charge and we can change course to make and maximize the common good. Well, have you guys heard of a K-shaped economy? Well, this is what we have now. I think especially UK and USA, maybe in other countries too. Basically, there's an economy for the rich and there's an economy for the, well, I want to call it rich and poor. There's an economy for the capital asset owning class and there's an economy for the labor selling class. And it's permanent good times for the capital owning class and permanent bad times for the labor selling class. This is what's going on. And the government policies, I can get into it some other time what the policies are, but the government have policies that really do favor. But the basic thing is they print so much money. One thing I want to make clear right now, just something. Let me go back to Musk here. So this guy is a trillionaire. And people say, "Oh my God, he's a trillionaire. Take money off him. He's making everyone poor." No, he's not making anyone poor at all. No, not at all. He doesn't have a trillion. His valuation of his stock of his company, where he's going to do space mining and build data centers in space, is worth a trillion. And it's just nonsense, in my opinion, as far as I know. That's another video altogether. Anyway, so this guy, supposing he had $1 trillion in the bank, is he making us poorer? No, he's not making us poorer, because what's happened is that money has been taken out of circulation, but the economy still has more goods and services that he's created from his business, so the same amount of goods and services. So what happens if less money chases the same amount of things or more things? It's deflationary. He makes us richer. To be quite honest, it doesn't make any sense. This whole thing, oh, we've got to take money from the trillionaires. No, it has no logic to it. It makes no sense, right? However, obviously, he is influencing policy that does make us poorer, but the problem is the government. And one of the things they're doing to help the asset holding class is printing money without growing the economy, without growing goods and services. They're inflating, they're creating bubbles. You've got the stock market bubble, you had the real estate bubble, and people's wages not keeping up with these bubbles. That's why this is happening. This is the problem we have to solve. It's not the fact that he has money, it's the fact that the government is corrupt or idiots and they're printing too much money without growing the economy. And I think the way to solve that is to ensure that no one gets elected without majority support. Because right now they just need a minority to get into power, and they keep doing these things that really are detrimental to the interests of the majority. So that's how it should work. And actually, one more thing that quite often people are worried about what will happen when the majority is in charge. Won't they, nick everything, become a tyranny? Well, yes, if the majority are scum, then the thing is not going to be good for the minority, obviously. But if you think about it, what's in the best interest of the majority or everyone is to have democracy, is to respect individual freedom, and elect people who have majority support, because that's how you maximize the common good. If you start having a tyranny and you don't respect individual freedom, you can't maximize the common good. You're just nicking stuff off somebody else and then giving it to yourself. Then later in another election, you get nicked off you, and it doesn't help anyone. So the idea that the majority would want to create a tyranny, I think, is misplaced. I think it's far more likely, and it is happening, that a minority are scum. So if a politician requires majority support, he's got to find a way of uniting people, right? So you've got the labor selling class. To put it in very simple terms, you've got a labor selling class, a capital owning class, right? So you don't, they both actually need each other. So the labor selling class wants to get as much possible for their labor and do as little as possible, to put it crudely, and the capital owning class wants to get labor as cheaply as possible and take as much profit as possible. And what the government is supposed to do is arbitrate between these two groups and create a situation where you can maximize the common good. You can't go give everything to labor, because then you can't grow the economy, and you can't give everything to the asset capital owning class, because that's obviously horrible to most people. So they have to come up with some kind of solution and arbitrate between these two groups, and that's what idea behind the majority support, requiring majority support, is about. Is that how do you unite these various groups of people and in a way that maximizes the common good? And you need smart, intelligent, capable people who are very heavily incentivized to serve the majority. That's what happens. So when the money goes out of politics, when the money is no longer useful, the people who are in politics for the money also bugger off. So the people who come in start having integrity and start having want to serve the majority. So you start having better quality politicians coming into politics. And personally, I'm just speaking for myself. If I don't, to be honest, I've never voted, because I just find this whole system stupid. But if I do support various politicians, and basically, I don't look too deeply at the policies. I mean, I have some ideas what I would like to see, but I care more about the politician themselves. I like to look and say, is this a good person? Does he have good ideas? Are they capable? Will they serve me? Will they do a good job for me? And sometimes the answer is yes, and quite a lot of time the answer is no. So I think that's what I would do, and I think that's once you start getting good politicians into power, the policies will sort themselves out. You can have a good policy when you have an idiot in charge; they're going to mess things up. Or you can have a bad policy if somebody who's very capable in charge; they'll find a way of making it work. That's how I would see it. So I think I'll leave it here. So as I said before, please sign the petition. I hope you found this interesting. I've never heard anyone talk about it before. So if you do find it interesting, let me know what you think. I mean, do you think I'm on the right track, wrong track? Am I wrong? I'd love to hear from people in the comments and see what they have to say. Okay, thank you.